Hey, everybody, welcome back to No Vacancy Not So Live from the Lodging Conference. We're having a great time over here, and I found myself a little Alexi Khajavi of Questex. How you, man?
I'm good, Glenn. It's good to see you.
It's great to see you, too. So, I got to tell you, I'm feeling a little cheery today. Why, Alexi? Is it because things are going well here? What's going on?
Well, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Because all we hear in the greater market is that we're in a recession,
Right?
Inflation. I mean, it's bad news, right? There's ground war in Europe. But to be honest with you, when you look at this industry, the most important thing is that demand is back, has been back, and it's so aggressive and continues to impress. I mean, we've never seen operating performance like this.
No, I was looking at my phone. I'm like, is it 2019? What's going on over here?
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because we're speaking out of both sides of our mouth to a certain point. But look, I mean, I think the reality is that the most important thing is that demand. Without demand, we don't have an industry, and demand is there.
Right. I think you make a good point talking on both sides of your mouth, because there's always something, right? Yeah. So, now those prevaricating circumstances are supply chain and labor, blah, 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 blah. But overall, the tone and tenor of this event tells me there's opportunity. And I thought last year was bullish, but this year just feels totally over the top.
I couldn't be more pleased for Harry and Liz.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, they've got more than 2,500 people here. And that's testament, right? Because if we can't do this, if we don't attend our own industry conferences at scale and with the engagement and really leaning into those, then how can we expect other industries to? Right. So the fact that we're doing it and we're doing it with such intensity and a lot of optimism and people getting together. I mean, last night's reception was fabulous. So, really I think it's a good sign. It's a really good sign. But at the same time, I think everyone's recognizing that it is becoming increasingly more challenging, more complex to run a hotel. Demand drivers are different. Housekeeping is through the roof. I mean, housekeeping was like the number one thing that keeps hoteliers up at night, according to this survey on a panel. Right. I mean, we never used to talk about housekeeping, right?
No, it was almost like a non-entity. Yeah. Right.
But so when housekeeping is what's keeping you up at night versus inflation, versus a fire, versus where's my next customer? When is corporate travel going to come back? Are the airlines even going to be able to get my my customers here? It just shows that there's a lot going on right now, but demand is out there.
Now, Alexi, I've only been to Vegas like 7-8 times in the last year, and I feel
last 7 days.
Yeah, I feel like I need more reasons to go. And that brings us to talking about the hotel show, June 27th through June 29th, 2023 at the lovely Venetian Palazzo complex. Why there? Why now? Throwing your guys' hat into a ring for a big event, like none other we've seen.
Yeah. Well, we're not doing it because the world needs another big event.
Right.
But the fact that we're doing it so close to after, this pandemic has ended or is ending, just shows the confidence that we've got in the sector. But it's actually something we've been planning for 4 years. And we were looking at the industry. Really? Yeah, we were looking at the events in the hotel industry. And we saw a white space in that because we publish through hotel management. We've got one of the largest communities of owner operators, advisors, brands, third-party management companies, asset managers. We realized that the content that we were publishing that was about how do you run a hotel more effectively? How do you drive profits and optimize and sweat that asset for the owner operator? That was the content that was resonating extremely well. So we started planning a conference back in 2017, 18. Right. Obviously, those things take a lot of time, a lot of planning. But by the time we were ready to, come out with announcing it, the pandemic had taken hold. Right. And then during the pandemic, obviously HNLA was doing such an incredible job to support the sector and was having a lot of conversations with Chip and Kevin. Right. And our mission was aligned that we want to help owner operators and hotel companies do a better job of operating those assets and driving profitability. There are a lot of good conferences out in the hotel space, this being one of them. There's conferences that are dedicated to real estate. There's conferences dedicated to design, technology. But there really isn't a conference that's dedicated to operations and how to operate those hotels more effectively. Right.
So we're particularly in this market where so much is in flux and there's so much change, and you don't know what today is going to bring for tomorrow. And do you buy something today with an uncertain tomorrow?
Yeah. And look, I mean, the challenge is also cannot be solved by one position.
Right.
The challenges that this industry is facing, you can't look at your GM and go solve that.
Yeah.
It's not that the GM's not a part of that.
No, it's a different world right now. That means different ways of connecting, different ways of learning, different opportunities.
And that's what we're going to do. That's what the hospitality show will do. It's going to bring those cross-disciplinary teams all under one roof, dealing with those operational issues, connecting the folks through education, engagement, demo, discovery. Vegas obviously is a place we all often find ourselves, for right or wrong. But
hopefully a little bit of both.
Yeah, exactly. What happens there. But it's got some of the best infrastructure in the country. We don't know if we'll stay there in 2024, but we're certainly happy to be there in 2023. And the reception by the industry in announcing this, and the conversations we've had over the last 5 weeks since we announced it, has just been absolutely incredible. I mean, this is the right conference for the right time. We couldn't be more pleased with it.
Beautiful. Well, I can't wait to see all of you out there next summer at the Venetian Palazzo. And don't worry, it's air conditioned. You don't have to worry about how hot it is. How can we learn more?
Yeah, so you can go to thehospitalityshow.com or you can go to hotelmanagement.net and see it there. And you can put your information in. You can subscribe to get more information.
Nice.
And we'll be doing more work with you. We're looking forward to having you on site.
That'll be awesome.
We'll be out there.
All right. Well, we'll see you then. And thanks for watching. We'll be back with a lot more coverage here at the Lodging Conference, even though it's not so live. Hey, we love you anyway. Talk to you guys later. Take care.